Think we're live. Welcome,
Yep.
Facebook community. I am Coach Annika, and I'm joined by Sharon tonight.
Hello?
Um, oh, can you hear me?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, okay.
I was just saying, yep.
Sorry. Oh, I forgot to hit got it. Okay, perfect. We're here tonight to discuss strategies to help us stay on track with our goals this holiday season. So whether your goal is to continue your weight loss in phase one or work to maintain in phase two, it's important that you have a clear plan for how you will pull this off despite the challenges.
Yep. And we're literally 1 week away. Like Thanksgiving is a week from tonight. So I'm sure a lot of you are already starting to plan what you're doing. Think about your strategies if you're in a group. I know Annika was saying that's really been the focus this week is just making sure everyone has a plan, feels like they have good strategies for Thanksgiving. We'll certainly add to that. And we'd love for you to comment as you're joining. First of all, let us know who you are, where you're joining from, and let us know what recipes and strategies have worked for you in the past, and what you'd like to incorporate for this holiday. And I apologize if my dog is roaming around back there.
Awesome. I'm just pulling up the chat here so we can welcome you guys as you're joining. So I'll keep an eye on that, but let's get right into it here. So the first thing that we want to consider when we're planning for the Thanksgiving holiday or any holiday, I know some people may even be celebrating this weekend. I've heard, Friendsgivings and other, earlier get-togethers. We want to make sure that we are always starting the day strong. And I would recommend this for any food-heavy holiday. You want to plan to have a strong start to your day. So planning in advance what you will have for breakfast, especially if you are heavily involved in any cooking or prep, to ensure that you eat. So if you're in phase one, and Coach Jen is going to be sharing some of these recipes in the comments as we're sharing them. So the first thing that I would recommend, we have a recipe for a cheesy hash brown skillet, and that's using the sausage and potato entree and veggies. Or you could make, a sheet pan of shredded hash browns. I love doing the frozen ones. I get the ones from Trader Joe's, but several different grocery stores carry them, making sure there's no added oil or other ingredients. But sheet pan of shredded hash browns with any number of veggies like mushrooms, peppers, onions, garlic, something that you can feed a group with, but is still entirely in the phase one box. And utilizing some of your strategies like your HMR pancakes or muffins, to make it feel like a real treat, a brunch, if you will, and a variety of fruit. But chopping veggies, your fruit in advance, or preparing even the pancake batter the day before can make prep really a breeze. And if you're pressed for time, of course, you can always stick to making a double shake or even a giant blender of shake and fruits and veggies that you can sip on throughout the morning, while you're prepping or, even entertaining. So just a few strategies to consider. For phase two, obviously we want to make sure that we're still planning to eat early, planning a balanced filling meal with your lean proteins, your grains, lots of fruits and veggies. There's a great recipe again on our website for egg muffin cups, something like that. Again, you can share that is, your eggs, your egg whites, your veggies, can pack, a variety again of veggies into your morning. And there's another recipe too, the sweet potato Greek yogurt pancakes. I actually tried for the first time this past week. Something again that really utilizes our lean protein, grain, and fruits and veggies to, have a good filling breakfast. Or again, you can keep it simple. Stick to your multigrain cereal, high volume double shake, variety of fruit. However you decide to approach it, starting the day strong can really ensure that you don't overeat later and you're less tempted to get into the higher calorie food. Especially as the appetizers come out, saving calories for later can be a very slippery slope that can lead to overeating or choosing foods that you otherwise wouldn't. So just a few tips to start the day strong. Another thing we want to consider is starting the day strong with physical activity. It can be a very busy day, and I know it's easy for time to get away from us. So whether you're doing the local turkey trot in your area, getting out for a walk outside, using indoor equipment, or even doing, a YouTube video from the comfort of your home, you want to schedule your physical activity first thing before the day gets away from you. Not to mention, prioritizing your physical activity can really reinforce the commitment to the choices that you make with your food throughout the day. So please, I know I've thrown a lot at you, please be sharing in the comments how you plan to start the day strong, or if any of these strategies are helpful for you.
So many great tips. And I'm just looking at the comments. Coach Jennifer is posting those recipes that Annika was just mentioning. And I just want to welcome a few of you. Bob is here from Rancho Cucamonga. Deb is here. Karen, Leslie, Mary Lou, Sherry. And Deb actually mentioned HMR waffles with vanilla 120 and the oatmeal, fresh fruit on top is a great treat. Totally agree. Someone else mentioned about adding pumpkin, and I lost that comment. Oh, Sherry says, definitely the pancakes. I add pumpkin puree to change it up. That's great for this time of year.
Awesome.
Yeah, I love it. So keep commenting. Let us know the recipes that you're doing, how you're starting your day strong for Thanksgiving, what you're committing to. So I'm going to dive into kind of planning for the actual meal time. So Annika really focused on starting your day strong, figuring out how to get in the PA, eating the right foods during the day. And then I'm going to get into the add, enjoy, and avoid approach. So think about what foods you will add to your day, what foods you will add to your shopping list and your menu, making sure to have plenty of fruits and vegetables, any condiments, add-ins, extra HMR foods, whatever you need to make sure you stay on track. And as Annika mentioned, prepping that stuff ahead of time, chopping vegetables, preparing fruit, or preparing shakes, even having things that you can enjoy and add to your day throughout the day. Prep and plan as much as you can so that things are just ready when you need them, because you never know when you're just going to feel hungry and just need something right away. So a little phase 2 tip, make sure that you're also incorporating servings of lean proteins and whole grains to create those balanced meals. Every time you eat a meal, try to make sure you're planning protein with a carb. That way you stay fuller and satisfied for longer. And then, so that's kind of the add part of that approach. So then let's go to the enjoy. So plan ahead of time which foods you really want to enjoy. And if you're in phase 1, you could try a new recipe to help reinvent a seasonal favorite. We've got like pumpkin pie smoothies. You could do a sweet potato side dish or green beans, something like that you feel like you're enjoying the seasonal flavors and those types of foods, but in a healthy and balanced way. Phase 2 tip, make a plan for those foods that you want to enjoy. If there's certain foods you want to enjoy, could be a special dessert, a favorite dish, just be really intentional about portion control and be sure to keep your home free of temptations that are just too hard to say no to. And then lastly, what are you planning to avoid and how will you avoid those foods? For example, avoid bringing foods into your house that you don't want to eat or are just going to be too tempting or could just be a problem for you. Maybe they're foods you don't even love but tend to just eat anyways because they're just there, or foods that you tend to always eat around this time of year. Make a mental note of those or even write them down and try to get rid of them or keep them out of sight. Of course, that's not always possible if you're going to someone's house. So in that case, what you can do is try to just avoid the area of where that food is. If you're sitting at a table, you can't always avoid that, but try to fill up on the right food. So having a shake in your hand and enjoying that to fill up. Sparkling water with fruit to stay full. So there's different ways that you can try to avoid those foods as much as you can to make it a little bit easier for you.
Great tips, Sharon. I would say even, when the appetizers are coming out and the other foods are there, it can be really easy for us to mindlessly pick up things or grab things. Even just making that plate of fruit or veggies right off the bat that that you can grab from is another, kind of great strategy to utilize if you're worried about a lot of those extras coming in. We also want to have a plan for after the meal. So as we know, And I know Thanksgiving dinner can happen at different times for different people. Some people celebrate it at 1 or 4, whenever that is, there's still a lot of time left in the day. And we have to problem solve through that, as well as having a plan for dessert. So we want to decide ahead of time how we're going to approach dessert. I don't know about you, but in my family, there's oftentimes several different desserts that are, added to the spread. So deciding ahead of time how you plan to approach that is really key.
Mm-hmm.
So in phase one, making your favorite seasonal HMR shake or pudding recipe, even microwaving a bar for 10 seconds is very delicious. Filling your dessert plate with fruit and then topping it with a 70 plus pudding, or even chopping up an HMR bar and sprinkling on top can be a great strategy too. We have some great recipes, the crustless pumpkin pie using the multigrain cereal, or I've even seen some versions using the 70 plus for those that don't use the cereal. Can be something fun you can make ahead that is delicious, easy to enjoy, as well as doing an apple crisp or crumble with the multigrain cereal and some sugar-free caramel syrup. Or if you want to keep it simple, prepare your favorite hot shake. I really personally love the sugar-free apple cider. The brand is Alpine Spice. I think I get it on Amazon. With a vanilla shake and a little sugar-free caramel syrup is delicious. But however you're going to approach it, take this week before the holiday to sample some of these recipes to see what you like best. And if you are in phase two, again, filling your dessert plate up with fruit, and then maybe adding a small portion of your favorite dessert, but, deciding again ahead of time what that is going to be, what you're going to enjoy. And then of course, if you want to skip that altogether in phase two, that's perfectly fine too. You could try, any of the phase one strategies that we shared above. Another thing that you can do, especially if you find that the desserts can be a really challenging time for you, remove yourself from the environment. Take a 10-minute walk around the block, get in that extra short bout of physical activity, play a game, seek out activities like playing with the kids or catching up with a relative that will take you away from the kitchen and the temptations there. To really, enjoy time with your family and friends. Don't have to be around the challenge, trying to avoid it if we can.
I love that idea because it really is such a food focused holiday, which is great. There's so many traditions, so many nice foods to enjoy, but we can also think about enjoying just the time with family and friends. And like you said, playing a game, like just getting into laughter and just enjoying conversation, everything. It's a great way to kind of separate yourself from having it just be food focused.
Mm-hmm.
And then a couple other things to consider. So this probably repetitive because Annika mentioned this a lot, but I just really think this is a strong point, is don't save your calories for the holiday meal. I think it's super common for people to fast throughout the day and not eat and say, oh, well, I'm going to save my calories for the meal. This can end up just really sabotaging you. Then you go into the meal feeling ravenous and might end up overeating and just not being able to stop. So make sure you really front end load, have healthy meals throughout the day, drink lots of water, have your shakes, fruits and vegetables, entrees, and avoid going into a tempting food situation feeling completely starving. That can just make things really challenging. So again, filling shake, entree, vegetables, fruit, all of those things are going to help keep you full so you're not going to overeat at that meal or eat something you normally wouldn't want to. Another tip is just keeping that physical activity in place if you can. Even just a 30-minute walk, 20-minute walk, whatever you can fit in, 10 minutes out, 10 minutes back, always better than doing nothing. Just doing something every day will help keep you connected to your goals and help you even manage stress too. It's not just the physical benefits, but it's the mental and emotional. Another one that we might not think about is try not to skimp on sleep. Try to aim for those 7 to 8 hours every night if you can. Have a good evening routine. Keep your room dark, right temperature, whatever you need to do. That can really help with keeping your energy levels up and avoiding overeating. And then last tip I'll share is fill half of your plate with fruits and vegetables at least. Have that really be the star of the show with a variety of colors, and aim for 2 full cup servings with your meals. That can really help keep you full and get in lots of good nutrients.
Yeah, absolutely. I would even say go in for a high day with your fruits and veggies on a food heavy day like Thanksgiving really gives you something to focus on, whether phase one or phase two. Going all in with the fruits and veggies throughout the day is key. If you're in phase one though, I would definitely suggest going for more is better, planning for more is better in all categories. Again, this is the day to pull out all the stops, and we want to always be planned for more than you think you're going to need. Worst case scenario, you have healthy leftovers to get you through the weekend and stay on track. But we always want to be over prepared, especially in a situation like that where it could be a very long day. Another thing that we want to consider, especially this week, is any conversation to be had ahead of time. Don't be afraid to ask the host if you're not hosting what's being served. Volunteer to bring fruit and veggie heavy sides, and also let the host in on what you're doing. Think about too how you're going to respond to potential pushback, like people saying, but it's Thanksgiving, you can have a cheat day. I would really recommend letting people know that you're really focused on making changes for your health, and that indulging on Thanksgiving could really throw you off track. I think it's about how we phrase it, and also, just enlisting support from those around you to stay on track with your goals. Just remember, I know we mentioned this earlier, that it's almost always a slippery slope. And it's so much easier to problem solve going forward than it is to work to get back your momentum once you've lost it. Plus, how you approach this holiday could predict how you approach future holidays. And not only that, people don't tend to regret staying on track. It's empowering that we can prove to ourselves that we can make it through these challenges with our healthy lifestyle behaviors that we're developing and practicing here. So make sure to plan ahead. Think through how you're going to approach every part of the day or the weekend. And if you do get off track, sorry, remember to do the next positive thing quickly so that we can break away from that kind of all or nothing way of thinking that we can sometimes find ourselves in. Remember to do the next positive thing. So that's the beauty of having a plan for the entire day, is that you know exactly what needs to come next, even if things don't go initially how you planned. So please comment and let us know what you will commit to doing this Thanksgiving to help you stay on track. I see says they're going to be doing a turkey trot, a 5K in the morning. Since you're not hosting, that is a great way to prioritize physical activity first thing. I love that.
And Bob mentioned more is better has saved me many times. I feel like we can't drive home that fact and now that point enough, that the more is better with HMR foods, fruits and vegetables will definitely help you to stay on track, and help you avoid any foods that are just going to take you totally off track with your diet.
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. Well, thank you guys all so much for joining us tonight. Hopefully you found some helpful tips to implement next week during your get-togethers and just help you really stay on track before we get into December. If you missed any of this live, don't worry, it's all recorded. We'll have it on the HMR Facebook page, and we'll also share it in the private group as well and on YouTube. So thanks again for joining us, and we hope you have a great rest of your night and a happy Thanksgiving.
Hey guys.